Okay, everyone. We're such a happy community. We love fellowshipping with each other. So please come back to your seats now. We have a wonderful guest speaker this morning, whom I'll introduce shortly. But first, I'd like to welcome our guest musician this week. Joining us on video, Amy Steinberg, our morning musician, is a Posey Award-winning singer, songwriter, and storyteller. Amy began studying music and theater at age 4, and she's currently based in Asheville, North Carolina, where she is the creator of the House of Love and Light, an online spiritual community. Amy is grateful to be with us this morning, and we are grateful to have her. So please stand now for the opening song, I Light Up the World.
Good morning, Golden Gate. It's me, Amy Steinberg. So happy to be back with you. I thought we'd sing this morning with our light opening up. Our light. This is a tune I wrote. It's really easy and fun to sing. It goes like this. I light up the world with my light. 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 Do you got it? Sing it with me. I light up the world with my light. 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 And now you get to take the opportunity to turn to somebody or think of somebody and sing it to them with you. You light up the world with your light. 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 And now I want you to think about the community, the beautiful community that you're in. And we're going to sing We. We light up the world with our light. 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 Light it up, I 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 light it up. Light up the world. Light it up, I 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 light it up. Light up the world. Break it down. I light up the world with my light. Come on, clap it out. I light up the world with my light. I light up the world with my light. I light up the world with my light. Yes!
Just love to have Amy with us. All right, so now is the time to silence our cell phones, please, and prepare to go within to our sacred center and receive the opening prayer by our morning prayer practitioner, Marilyn Letsos. I invite you to join me as I go deep within myself, back to that sacred, secret place of the Most High within, the most real part of ourselves, the most authentic, that part of us which always was and always will be. And here we are home. Here we are home because that power within us is the infinite presence. And when we go deep, deep, deep within that authentic place, we are one and we know it and feel it. And so knowing and feeling my connection to the infinite presence, to the source of all that is, everything that is in the created world is not only from Spirit, from God,
but is inhabited by that same power, that every atom of creation is the life of God. And I am one with that life, which is present utterly everywhere, across all time and space. There is no way one could be outside of God. And so feeling this love, this infinite, unconditional love, this infinite supply that loves to give and give and give, it is the Father's good pleasure for everyone to have the good that they seek. And so I do speak my word now, opening that space within, allowing, inviting that within each one, that infinite sweetness, that power, that love, that abundance, all the supply, just to make itself known within each one as we accept what is already ours. And I give thanks that in spirit, we are way more than we ever thought we were, because since spirit is infinite, then so am I at that level. And so knowing that whatever we think we are always more, always more. I give my thanks, and I accept this completely. And releasing any concern about making it so, I say it already is so, and so it is. Amen.
Song about how sometimes the things that appear to break us really just break us open. This is called Broken Open. Scrapes, burns, twists and turns, you might call me damaged. Nicks, cuts, dips and ruts, I've been bruised and bandaged. Every dark night leads to a new morning light, and all of my scars have turned me into a piece of art. Each fear, every loss and tear, all the hard goodbyes, lows, hits, all the dirt, all the grit, all of it has made me wise. Every dark night leads to a new morning light, and all of my sorrow gives me hope for a better tomorrow. It's when I'm falling, I feel so high, and when I'm crawling, that I want to reach out for the sky. And when I'm lonely, I can hold on to the truth that it's when I'm broken open, that's when the light comes through. Ins, outs, screams and shouts, life is complicated. This is my wild ride, heck no, I wouldn't trade it. But every love that's gone leads me to another love song, and all of my sorrow gives me hope for a better tomorrow. It's when I'm falling, I feel so high, and when I'm crawling, that I want to reach out for the sky. And when I'm lonely, I can hold on to the truth that it's when I'm broken open, that's when it's when I'm crying that I can be my friend. And when I'm dying, I could be born again. And when I'm hurting, love is my medicine. Yes, it's when I'm broken open, that's when the spirit comes in. Oh, 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 oh. That's when the spirit comes in. Oh, 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 yeah. The heart breaks to make more room for love, shakes you from the inside to remind you you're alive, and there's always that part that wants to close up, run away. But my heart heals with thick, rope-like scars I use to pull me to the clearing where I can see the stars, the next opportunity to try hard, embrace the dark and love with my ever-expanding love, with my ever-expanding heart.
Well, now it is my privilege, my honor, to introduce Dr. Barbara Leger. Dr. Barbara arrived in the Ukraine on 9/11/2001, where she immediately began encouraging the mindset of peace, purpose, and possibility with adults in classes and lectures and conferences. She founded an organization there, taught New Thought and Science of Mind classes, and established a charter center with many practitioners. Later, Dr. Barbara co-founded the nonprofit Golden Path of Peace and teamed with the Ukraine NGO to implement the Understanding Peace Project, which has taught more than 14,110 students with 386 teachers in 302 schools using the Resilient Compass of Peace program every day for 5 weeks. This work is the highlight of Dr. Barbara's career, seeding and cultivating peace for the greatest well-being of our planet and for all of humanity. She has also written a read-aloud children's book, Tall, Small, and the Joy of It All, and is writing 2 more, Grandmother's Fever and Don't Call It Soup, It's Borscht. Please help me welcome our beloved Dr. Barbara Leger.
It is so great to be here. It's been a long time. Yeah, most of us are friends, and for those of you who I haven't met yet, I hope to meet you today. That's what we come here for, right? We come here for connecting. We come here for remembering who we are. We come here to remember what's important. We come here to get support to shift our mind off the insanity that's going on around us and remember that there's something coming through it that is important for us. And sometimes that's really hard. I don't know about you, but there's still people whose voice I can't stand. And I just have to work with that. You know, I just have to. So I remember once years ago when I was still working in Santa Rosa, we co-founded something called Roots for Youth, and the director, Diane Foster, bless her heart, she's one of my angels now, she would say, you know, when somebody would say, oh, well, you know, it's just the way it is, it's awful, it's what are you gonna do? And she'd say, how about a wellness? How about a wellness? Every time you're getting ready to say, oh, well, you know, it's awful. Instead, it's, oh, wellness, what can I do? Really, it's a simple little tool, but it's stuck in my mind. The theme this week and this month is divine discontent. Anybody ever had that? Well, let's start with the first. How about anybody ever had any discontent? Most of us. Anybody had any divine? Anybody have any divine discontent? Yeah, so that's how it works, right? And Amy's song was so perfect. It was just the perfect song for today because the way to experience all that we want is by using whatever shows up in our life. You know, there's a really good book, I can't remember the name of the author, but it's What's in the Way is the Way. So if something shows up in your life and you go, so let's just dispense with this. So something shows up in your life. I'm the person who's never sick. And then one day I couldn't breathe. Literally, I couldn't breathe. The 3rd of November. And I tried to get into my primary care physician and every urgent care there was in the town that I live in because I didn't want to go to the hospital. Because I'd get COVID there. That was what I believed. Of course, that's not a very healthy belief, but that's where I was, telling the truth. And so I didn't do what I should have done. I should have gone to the hospital. And none of those people that I went to ask for help did what they should have done either. None of them helped. I shouldn't have been driving. None of them stopped me. We were all caught in our role and our job, and it was, well, you know, we've got our quota for the day, and it's going to close in half an hour, no room for you in the inn. That was a horrible experience. The good of it was that somebody finally insisted that I go and sent me in an ambulance and took care of my car and just took care of it all. And the emergency room was so fantastic. They dealt with every single thing. They were so kind and so compassionate, just not how I imagined it would be. I felt so valued that I went, okay, this is what's happening. So this must be what I need to go through. When I worked in New Dimensions, we had a 10-year anniversary. New Dimensions Radio in San Francisco. It's celebrated their 50th year on the air this last year. And on our 10th anniversary, I was working there, and we had a board meeting, and Joseph Campbell was on the board, along with Barbara Marks Hubbard and a few other luminaries. And Joseph was sitting right there, you know, and here, this is me, this little farm girl. And here is this man that the whole world knows. And we're just having dinner, celebrating the gift of New Dimensions. And I said to him, what's your favorite quote? Because I'd been reading up and I had mine. And he said, oh, that's really easy. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure that you seek. So when we're in discontent, what does it really mean? What is the energy of that really about? I think it's a moving force. I think it's something that comes to move us, to have us realize that, or at least to ask us the question, are we settling for the crumbs or are we going for the golden ring? Are we really wanting peace on earth, or are we just happy to complain that we don't have it? Because we're all so busy. I mean, yeah, peace would be really great, but I've got kids and grandkids, and the window broke, and the car needs to go to the shop, and the dog needs another thing, and so it's very hard to align sometimes to things that are really important. Until what? What is it that comes along to help us align with what's really important? I mean, there's a lot of things. You can fall in love. That doesn't always align you to what's really important, but it sure is great. And you'll figure out what's really important later on, and that could be great too. But what else is it that aligns us to what's really great? And if you're home watching this, put it in the chat somewhere. I'm sure somebody checks it. And we'd love to know from you. And if you have an idea of what's really great, like what really matters in your life more than anything, what is the thing that moves you, that calls you, that gets you up in the morning, that makes you cry when you see it, makes you laugh out loud? I walked into the bathroom today, this is the first time I've been out of my house for more than 15 minutes in 3 months. And I drove in that rainstorm yesterday, And I-5 should have been closed. It was so dangerous, and you could not see the end of your car. I was in the car for 6 hours. I was like, this was a really big shift. And I'm walking into the bathroom this morning. My phone's in my pocket. And wonderful people came up and wanted to hug me. And I was so happy, but I couldn't let myself hug them because I'd been on the road a while to get here. And I needed to go to that little room over there. And I needed to make sure all the sound was right. And I had my stuff. And so I said, great to see you. I'll hug you later. And I went, kept going. And while I walked in there, my phone said, best to stay in the left lane. Just out of the blue. I mean, I turned it off, I thought, but there it was, giving me a little nudge. And what is the left lane? It's to stay in the lane that matters to you. For me, it's really important to be present, to be on purpose, and to the best of my ability, be a peaceful person. That's what's best for me. And wherever I don't have it, that's what's in the way that is the way. That, wherever I don't have it. So back to what's most important to you. What's important to me is more clear to me after spending a week in the hospital. A week's a long time to be in the hospital. I could have died, actually. I mean, I could have. And I'm so grateful for my lungs because they caught all these clots that were hanging out there that eventually stopped me from being able to breathe. I'm so grateful for those lungs that took it. And I'm doing everything I can to help them along. But in the process, and there's more, my heart, like Amy's song, your heart gets bigger. My heart did get bigger. And I actually made a joke about it. And the doctor thought I was pretty sick. I said, well, the heart's bigger, I said. He said, yeah, it's terrible. I said, all the more to love with, I guess. And he looked at me like I was from Mars or something, He thought I was just a cuckoo person. And I sort of believed that, but I really had to face my fear about it. And we have this teaching, not so that we can be cavalier about it, not so that we can be offhand, it's all so good all the time, but actually, how do we live this teaching? How do we know what we believe when what's in the way stops us? When what really matters to us catches up somewhere on some hook that you've been ignoring or you forgot about or you didn't know was there, and it catches you and it asks you, could you come here, please? Could you just get here and remember what's really important? Doesn't that make you want to cry when you remember what's really important? So I've remembered what's really important, and I'm on this serious journey to do what I love to do, which I'm going to tell you about in a moment, and to be present and more available to the people I love. And to not just go, I'm too busy to have that conversation right now. But to stop and say, I've got 30 seconds. Let's just have the best hug we've ever had. I could have done that this morning. I was so excited to be here. I wanted everything to be perfect. I wanted to have my notes ready. I wanted my machine turned on. I wanted the computer over there so I could show you the kids and the teachers and how their world is changing because of us. I wanted all that. And I forgot about the other part of what I want, which is to be here, to be present with you. I actually know most of you for years. So when that stuff comes that creates that discontent in you, remember that it's divinely sent. It's divinely sent. It may suck. It may just feel like hell. It may be absolutely contrary to everything you've thought about. But I promise you, it's more than that. If, as Marilyn said in her treatment, and as Amy sang in the song, and as Leslie spoke as she welcomed us today, that there is only one thing happening at any time, and that is the infinite presence showing up to the best of our ability. That's how it gets to be realized. So I know you know all that, but I just want to invite you to have some idea of how wonderful it can be to face some huge challenge. And I'm sure you do. Maybe I'm the one that never did. I never had a huge challenge, not that huge. So, you know, I left here one day, Karen was playing music, and I walked around the room, and some of you were there, and I sang a song, day by day, day by day. Who was here that day? Yes. Oh, dear Lord, 3 things I pray: to see thee more clearly, to love thee more dearly, and follow thee more nearly, day by day. So yesterday, I was holding somebody's hand metaphorically over the telegram lines, thanks to the blessed internet, singing that song to someone who had just lost someone. And you can't imagine the things that I sing to people who are on the battlefront, or calling me when they get back to the trenches, or talking to me when they leave class and they come to our support group and they say, what do you say to Yvonne when he says that his mother just told him that his father's not coming home? What do you say to him, the teacher asks me. And every single person in that country is traumatized. Every single person. I had 2 calls this week. One from a former practitioner. He's now 35, married, still being a teacher. And he was in the bomb shelter. And he said, you might notice that I'm not very present these days. I just can't be anywhere. He's typing. And he never writes anything more than 2 sentences. And he just writes all this, I don't know, I can't think, and my wife broke her leg, and her father's crazy, and we have to move out, and I have to help them move. I mean, I have to move. I'm the man of the house, and I'm afraid to go outside because they're going to see me and take me to the war, and I can't see myself with a gun in my hand. And that's what's happening right now. If you're not volunteering, people are being identified out in the world and invited to go to the office. Sign up. Yeah. So he calls me because he knows that I'm going to have something for him. And the only thing I had for him is the strongest thing you can do is feel your feelings, feel your fear, tell yourself the truth about how you feel, no guilt, no shame, none of that. He said, but everybody wants us to all go and fight. I say, you know what? You live for you. Don't worry about everybody else. You live for you. And then another student of mine, young adult who's now a commander of 250 people with 6 little commanders underneath him, he called me weeping, just weeping. And he's never wept. He's so strong. He called me weeping, and he couldn't hardly hold his crying back. And he's such a tough guy, and his father was a policeman, and he was in the army before, and he was strong. And I just listened, and I said, the strongest thing you can do is cry. The strongest, the bravest thing you can do is feel your feelings. There'll be time to remember who you are. Just let yourself be. in this place. His father had died that morning. And he called me. So we have to be ready at any time. We have to be ready at any time because we who sit in this room are privileged people who have many kinds of privilege, but one of them is this teaching. And if we can be present, we can be the embodiment of it anywhere we go. I am far from perfect. Just ask my grandkids. But I am practicing. I am doing everything I can to live this teaching. And when Amy's song was, "We lift up the world," or "Our light lifts up the world," I have never been so clear about why I'm in Ukraine as I am right now. And I have a computer back there, and I'm inviting you, if you'd like, after service, after you've got your coffee or whatever, if you'd like, I'm happy to stay and talk to you and show you some videos of the teachers talking about what it's like to have this teaching. They don't call it Science Mind, because I don't call it Science Mind. I call it peace. That's what I call it. Peace is the core. Works for me, works for them, works for everybody, safe, no resistance to peace. Everybody wants it, but nobody knows how to get it. They all just want it, or they want to complain that we don't have it. I used to be just like that. Maybe some of you have experienced that, want to, but don't know where to. Well, that's what we're sharing with them, is how to get to peace. And what are the seeds of peace? We teach them that there is a hero inside of them that is going to carry them across the chasm and through the desert. We teach them that. We teach them that they have a compass inside of themselves, which is resilient, and we call it peace. And it tells them what direction they're going in. And we tell them that they have this quality inside of them that allows them to set that compass, to set a course. They have their own internal GPS. And that compass guides them there, and we're here to support that. We tell them that every word that goes in their curriculum, we have 5 weeks, 5 main words, and 4 support words for every main word. Every word is a word that's deeply ingrained in our teaching. We tell them they're seeds of peace. Do you ever plant seeds in your garden you don't want to have grow? No, they say. I say, have you ever thought thoughts you don't want to live? Oh, yeah. It's just like that. One of our little mottos. Your thoughts, let's see. How does it go? Your thoughts are the seeds. They live in your garden. You can plant flowers or you can plant weeds. It's our choice. We teach them they have choice. We teach them that they can change the reality right now by not reacting to whatever is making them afraid. They can take one breath. We call it the peace first breath. Just catch that breath, because your body's telling you before your brain gets it that something's coming. So catch that, because your body is a big gift. And then that breath feels so good in your body that you remember who you are. Or you remember to breathe a couple more, and then you say, what should I do now? Your wisdom is back there. We teach them that. And I've got these pictures of these little kids, 6-year-olds, there's one little boy, I don't think I have that video with me, who's teaching other children how to breathe. He said, and then we learn how to be still. We learn how to be peaceful inside of ourselves. And he says, it's really easy. It looks like this. You take this deep breath. He's about this big. He's wearing a gray flannel shirt or something. He goes, and he's so happy with himself. And that same little boy, 2 or 3 days later, was in the bomb shelter, the teacher told me, when there was another little boy crying, and he went over and he taught him how to breathe. He took what he learned and he went there and he taught him. And that's happening. We are transforming. And I say we because you have walked with me the whole time I have been there. We are transforming a mindset to say that even, like we call it now, finding peace in the midst of war. next Saturday at 12 o'clock. You can mark your calendars on Zoom, and I'll send an invite asking Reverend Mary to, or she's gone. But anyway, I'm telling you now, and you can find it somehow. I'll get it to you. We're doing a couple hours honoring the spirit of Ukraine on Zoom, and we're having musicians, and we're having kids and teachers. And we're going to talk about what they've learned that allows them to be peaceful in the midst of war, because maybe we could use that, because we have plenty of wars going on right here in our own heads, in our own communities, in our own business, in our own politics, plenty. And here's these people in this middle of this horror finding a way to teach me. It's like, you know, when you teach your kids and then they start teaching you, reminding you what you taught them. It's like that, only now our number is 17,000 children. 17,000 children have graduated from this 5-week course, and 500 and something teachers and 400 and something schools. And we yesterday got news that our first Rotary grant has been granted. It's a tiny little one. It's a seed for an unlimited flow of prosperity, because the demand is so great that we have to scale up right now to meet what's being asked of us. So I want you to know what our journey is like. Our job, to do our best, to remember what's most important to us, and to take whatever life gives you and use it to get to what's most important. So when this came along in my life, my heart did get expanded. It's slowly going back. It may never be the same. There's all kinds of other little things they find when they start looking, you know, which is why I don't like to go there. But oh well, you know. Oh, wellness. I'm choosing wellness anyway. I love my life. I love it. I love my purpose. I love the vision of peace on earth in our lifetime. I love the mission of using all moments for good. And I love the purpose of sharing what we know, first by being ourselves, being accountable by facing ourselves in the mirror, the kind of self-awareness that lets you see your faults and that loves you anyway. There's so much. The last thing I'm going to say is we have a fishes and loaves gift coming to you. And we're seeking to do a huge endowment, and we've got to burn the mortgage on the property there and donate it to the nonprofit there. And the board and I we're talking about how do we do that in here. And I remembered the story from the Bible about the fishes and loaves, and that was like, how do we feed these throngs of people? And there was a basket with 3 fish and 2 loaves. And the message was, go feed them. And of course, there was a lot of doubt. How do you feed 1,000 people with 3 fish and 2 loaves? And so we asked ourselves, what do we have that is that pearl of great price? What do we have that could feed those people in that same way as those fishes and loaves did? What little speck that we have could we give you to give our offering to you, to thank you for all the ways you've supported us? And it's to do our fishes and loaves. And we're going to give you something that is so simple and so beautiful, and it's going to come in your email. And if you want it, you just need to give me your email or give me permission to have it, and you'll get it every month. And it's 4 words and several questions, several possible actions, and several ways to imagine it, and then some worksheets. It's a beautiful year-long program to have a heart at peace. It's the best thing I know, and it's the foundation of everything we do. Words flowing from hope, powered by purpose, fueled by possibility, lead to peace. That's our formula. So please visit me. Mark your calendar next Saturday. It's the anniversary of the 2nd year of the invasion. It'll be the last anniversary that we celebrate. We celebrate the spirit of Ukraine. If you'd like, you're more than welcome. And I thank you for being there for us all these years and for me. And I'm so happy to be with you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Barbara, so very much. I'd like to ground what Dr. Barbara said today in a prayer. Let's just turn within to our sacred center. As I recognize the wellness of the universe, the rhythm of wholeness and wellness expanding across space and time and never bound by space or time. And I realize the infinite life in all its magnificence is in every cell and molecule. And as it moves upon itself, it brings itself into form. It brings itself into the consciousness of each one with its lavish gift of wholeness and wellness and life. And as each one accepts this gift into their core center, it radiates through each one. It celebrates itself through each one, every place and in every plane. It recognizes itself and it reflects itself into form, into experience, into our world. So I celebrate the life within each one which knows exactly what to do, which is at the core of divine order unfolding, even now in this moment, everywhere, across the planet, across the universe, across each individualized heart. The infinite life is alive, awake, and aware. And I give thanksgiving for the opening in consciousness which allows for the infinite life to be realized, recognized, manifested, always for the greater good of all. And so it is. Amen. So please join me in the morning affirmation. Let me just see if it's here. Let's stand, please, and say it all together. Life is for sampling, experiment, learning, and delight. I choose to make the moments of my life a contribution to all of these. I let myself trust and value that I'm here for the holy purpose and that I'm living that purpose now. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you. So now is our time of conscious giving. And will the ushers please come forward and join me in front of the altar? Whatever you give, whether you do so automatically through online banking, cash, check, or text today, what's important is what's in your heart as you give, that your intention is love-filled. If you'd like to donate via text, the number is 415-779-7613. You can also go directly to our website, ggcsl.org, and click on the Donate tab. So please hold your gift over your heart as we say this blessing. This gift I give is God in action. I now send it forth to bless and to prosper. I know that everywhere it goes, it is creating a world, living in love, one heart, and what's at a time. And so it is. All right, thank you.
This is a brand new song that I wrote called My Soul is Like a Country Road. And it's a true story. It goes like this. Dusty taught me how to drive a country road. I was learning how the turns and curves resemble the soul. And when you put your foot up off the brake and ride them hills, you gotta change from lane to lane and loosen up on that wheel. The sun is shining, riding down the Blue Ridge now. Early morning, heading to my head being bowed. I got spirit in my tank, I'm full of thanks for what I know. This life is like a country road, so I will turn my lights on, let the night come and go, and I will keep my head high as I ride this road. And when the rain comes as it does, I know to go slow into a new place where heartache will take no toll. My soul is like a country road. Can I hear a yeehaw? Dusty taught me how to live the letting go. I was learning how the love I sow is the same love I grow. And when you put your foot down on the brakes, stop and see the view, well, life will rise like the sun to meet you. And I will turn my lights on, let the night come and go, and I will keep my head high as I ride this road. And when the rain comes as it does, I know to go slower into a new place where heartache will take no toll. My soul is like a country road. My soul stretches straight and narrow for a long time, and suddenly the twists they come. Rain and fog could sometimes drive a hard one, but I will open my heart and I will follow it, and I will stay open, yeah. Yes, I will turn my brights on, let the night come and go. I will keep my head high as I ride this road, and when the rain comes as it does, I know to go slow into a new place where heartache will take no toll. My soul is like a country road. My soul is like a country road. My soul is like a country road. My soul is like a country road.
So let me bless this beautiful offering this morning. So on behalf of all of us, each one of us here, at the Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living, we accept this offering with gratitude and send it into the world to bring peace, to bring healing and transformation with so much love, and so it is. Thank you. Thank you, ushers. So I want to welcome those of you who are here for the first time and let you know that there's a little gift awaiting for you back where Galen is at the back table. Just fill out the blue welcome card, please, inside the welcome envelope and turn it in to the table back there. And you'll be given a free book as our thank you for attending today, and we hope that you've enjoyed the morning celebration and that we look forward to seeing you again. And we are very grateful to everyone who helped make today's Sunday celebration possible. So let's especially thank Dr. Barbara again and everyone else. It takes a village, doesn't it? All right, that's good. So, and it is an awesome altar from the Frost family. Thank you very much. So, yeah. All right, so we have a few announcements. So the celebration of life for our beloved Reverend Dr. Marcia Sutton is at North Hollywood Church of Religious Science at 11 a.m. on March 1st. So the details are in your bulletin today. And now I'd like to invite Marilyn up to talk about the power of spiritual mind treatment, which is going to be a workshop in our office today in San Rafael. So, Marilyn.
you. Well, Leslie and I are doing our favorite thing, and that is talking about spirit, about spirit and alignment. And there's this one of the most important. Okay, when I was a little girl, I was taught that if I was really good, that God would like me, and then God would answer my prayers. But I had to be, really nice and please God first. And if God was in a good mood, then I would maybe get what I wanted. Well, we in religious science believe that it's already been given. It's the Father's good pleasure for us to have the kingdom. Well, okay, so it's already given, but how come I may not be experiencing that in my life? And the answer is, well, I haven't received it. How do we receive what is already given? Spiritual mind treatment. So, if we've all, I'm sure, learned about the 5 steps and how to do them, but what about having them do us? What about having us really go to each? Well, we are infinitely amazing people, and there's always more within us to discover and to live and to realize. How do we do that? Well, we're going to do our best to take you on that trip today. If you would like to join us in our class, it's from 1 to 3. This is the very first workshop or class that's been given in our new offices. And we have a very ambitious schedule with 2 hours. So we do have to ask, if you are coming to the class, please be there before 1 o'clock, because we have to close the front door, and we don't want you to get locked out. So if you're interested, maybe haven't decided, but you might be interested, or if you are definitely going to attend, please meet us over here. We'll tell you how to get there and just connect with you. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's see, the San Francisco Food Bank opportunity is Tuesday, March 12th, noon to 2. And you can email or text Ellen Nicosia to get on the team for this sacred service in March. And Daniel Namaud's concert is next Sunday here. And Galen has the tickets in the back of the room if you're interested. They're only $20, and you can purchase one right back there with Galen or online. And the information is in the bulletin. And also, we are going to have a potluck next Sunday. So please sign up at the activity table. Just like usual, we need people to set up and clean up and bring food to celebrate each other and the concert that we're looking forward to. And Reverend Mary is going to teach a class, The Principles of Financial Freedom, an 8-week class, which begins Tuesday, February 27th. And registration is $260, so sign up at the activity table. Or if you have any questions, you can ask Reverend Mary next week. And the Wednesday meditation is canceled this week because Reverend Mary is in South Carolina at the annual convention. So as we close our celebration today, I would like to invite all of the spiritual practitioners to surround the room. And as a reminder, our prayer practitioners are licensed spiritual mentors, and many of whom have private practices and can provide full sessions for you. And each week we have practitioners at the prayer table who are available for prayer immediately following the closing song of service. I encourage you all to take advantage of the wonderful gift of prayer. And there is also a prayer box on the table available if you prefer. The practitioners will take your prayer requests and pray over them every single day throughout this week. Or you can put a prayer request on our website in the Resources tab. So the practitioners at this time will bless us all with what's called a chamber of prayer, where they all pray individually at the same time, simultaneously, to uplift and bless the whole community. So as you open your hearts, please feel yourself being enfolded in prayer as we all now begin. Go ahead, practitioners. And so it is. Thank you very much, practitioners. So let's all please stand for the closing blessing and song, and join me as we speak our closing blessing together. I now walk so that whoever walks beside me, presence of God, and whoever places a hand in mine is lifted, and whoever thinks of me is illumined with God consciousness, for spirit and all and I are one. And so it is. So it is. So please stand for our closing song.
Thank you so much for having me again. Let's close with this awesome tune from Harold Payne. I know I've done it with you before. Something wonderful. Something wonderful. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Yeah. Something wonderful. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. And I can feel it. I can feel it in my body. I can feel it in my soul. I can feel it in my heart. And it won't let go. Something wonderful, oh yeah. Wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Sing it with me. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Again, something wonderful, ooh, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. And I can feel it in my body. I can feel it in my body. I can feel it in my soul. I can feel it in my heart. And it won't let go. Something wonderful, ooh, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful, yeah.
Thank you, everybody. And Barbara Leger will be in the back to meet and greet. Have a wonderful day.